Good evening,
Good
good
evening,
evening,
good
good evening, good
evening,
evening, and welcome to the 11th Ornament on the 11th day of December, right in time for Jono to join, although he is just still an abstract block of, hey, Jonathan!
Oh,
He's here.
hello.
Here and in person,
Ooh.
not even
You were
calling in
holding
from the
nothing. That's
car.
crazy. Yeah.
All
Two
right,
short
wow.
songs get out quick. Here we go.
We we are just actually hopping into stream, so we just went live. We are going to go over a brief cap. I like to call it a brief recap of last session, and then jump right into tonight's most exciting session, as this is the penultimate episode of 2022. We only have one more episode this year.
We obviously have to end on like a cliffhanger,
Well, we
so
can't die
someone
this
be
week, then.
prepared to not be alive next session.
So
We can't die this
Or-
year. We have to at least make it
or
all the way through
die.
2022.
right.
Okay,
So,
okay.
as we prepare, I think tonight is going to be relatively exciting, all things considered, as you guys get to the end of a major arc, heading to Minzo Baranzan, and hopefully getting past Minzo Baranzan and on your way to finding the River Styx. So, previously on the 11th Ornament. Captors, yeah. Captors captured. Previously, the party has been making their way for some time now on a grand and hurried journey to the realms of Ao the Overgod. How, you might ask? Great question. There are a number of ways to get there, but the party has been given a coin with which to pay the ferryman upon the River Styx. One of the few ways to transcend basically every plane of existence in some way or fashion. The Styx can be navigated to those various places. So, where does the River Styx intersect with the material plane? Well, in the Underdark, unfortunately, at this time. And as the party makes their way down into the Underdark, they have come across many challenges and strange new cultures and peoples. They have encountered the deep gnomes of Podrock Town, a town built in a torus-like central gravity zone. They have been traveling upon smugglers' routes to Minzo Baranzan. They encountered two remoras, which had escaped a local exotic beast smuggling ring, and encountered a colony of Mycodon mushroom folk. But with their trusty guides, Chip and Miles, two deep gnomes whom they are paying to guide them to Minzo Baranzan along this smuggler's route, they have made their way across a placid, glass-like subterranean lake, and finally to the last respite, the last kind of safe house before reaching Minzo Baranzan. There, they have encountered a group of people escaping Minzo Baranzan. A trio of rangers leading a small cadre of male drow seeking a better life on the surface, bound for the Sea of Stars, ultimately. As the party kind of hunkers down, rests in the safe house, preparing for the following day, which is to be the last day that Chip and Miles will guide you, as you should come upon and be able to see in short order the towering spires of Minzo Baranzan in the distance. To recap the goals here, based on your primitive geography, I should say, you are beginning to realize that you are going to be coming in at Minzo Baranzan from the northwest, and you know that the River Styx lies south of Minzo Baranzan. So, depending on how the surrounding terrain might appear, you may find yourselves in a situation where you might have to trespass through Menzo Branson or find another safer way around. Um, in any event, it stands between you and your goal. Um, you've also been made aware that on the shores of the Black Lake, the main source of water and sustenance for Menzo Branson, as it's a lake so large as to rival small seas and oceans. Um, there is an enormous lighthouse, said to be a monument to Lolth herself, from whence her judgmental gaze may be cast down upon those who would seek to do harm to her people and can cause them to become blinded, incapacitated in some way. You're not entirely sure. The mechanics of it are steeped in mystery, as those who have traveled to Menzo Branson do so generally with permission or don't leave to tell the tale. Any questions? Anything I forgot? Anything to recapitulate on my behalf?
There were some polar bears, and I'm sad about it.
Yes, as you were crossing the Placid Lake on the second portion of the journey, you did see a drow corsair, a small, fast ship meant to run down larger, like shipping vessels that carry goods. A pirate's ship, one might say. But this one was laden with exotic beasts in cages, and seemed quite out of place, as your guides were unable to confirm that this large empty lake underground connected to any other waterways except by that which they came through, so unsure as to how such a large vessel made it here. But you witnessed it perform some feat of magical transportation that allowed it to appear, or disappear, I should say, apparently following some sort of ley line that it was able to sail upon and vanish before your very eyes. Unfortunately, that phenomena also transplanted some creatures from the ship's destination that may have been caught up in that wave, and as such, you did have to put a couple of polar bears out of their misery before they would drown down here.
Sid, did we? I don't. You may have mentioned this, but we did. Did you mention the festival that's celebrating the anniversary of the separation of Lolth from her oppressive ruler?
I did not. The end of year festival is beginning to be underway in Menzo Branson, according to the escapees that you had spoken to in this smuggler's respite. And there's bound to be all manner of revelry and regalia taking place in the city in celebration of that. So, without too much further ado, let us get back right onto table. Jump right into the scene. Somebody tell us, what were we doing again?
We were in the. We literally just went to sleep. Like we talked last week that we would start this session the next morning.
It's true, because I pressed the long rest button, and I can't undo that.
Did I as well do that same thing?
We did also. I did have notes where we did meet the 12 elves. One of the ones we spoke to was named Azareth. He was seemingly the oldest one, and we learned that drow males never know their family name because as soon as they're born, they're sent off to training.
Mm-hmm. So, I will once again show the picture of the well, you
Trading
can just
post.
scroll up. Yeah, the trader's post here. Um, uh, a sneak peek at the unusual cave architecture that is so characteristic of the Drow, carving elegant, graceful shapes right into the natural flow of the limestone between the stalagmites and the stalactites. Um, can anyone else hear music? No?
Mine just turned off.
I just turned it off, but it's because I couldn't hear it.
Hey, Vale has the bag of holding, right?
Vale has disappeared from the conversation.
Okay.
But yes, I think so.
In the morning, I'm gonna put some stuff in the bag of holding.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Where is Will? Did he literally just vanish?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, in any event, when you awaken the following morning, even as early as you generally would get up and prepare for the day, the Drow and the Rangers have already packed up and are in a tidy line, getting ready to embark. One of the lead individual who he's speaking to comes up and says, "Thank you for your kind company, and may you have best of luck on your journeys."
We will need it.
Yes,
For our sake and yours.
I feel you will. Take care. And they begin marching out, making their way down the stairwell to the harbor below, where they can get on the boats and begin sailing back towards the Myconid colony. So you all are left within the Smuggler's Respite.
It says I don't own a token on the
That's correct. That is true and accurate.
signature. Well, Miles,
Oh, I suppose it is about time. All right. In just a little bit, we're going to be reaching the end of what would be considered the smuggler's portion of this journey. We'll be arriving at open terrain. From there, Chip and I will guide you to the road, but we won't go to the road. And we won't be walking down it ourselves. It gets dangerous from there, to be sure. Those pathways are patrolled by, well, Drow soldiers, and if you're not a guest of the Empire, you won't be seen kindly.
Well, we will definitely wish you luck on your journey back through the infested path that you took us.
Yeah. So, we've actually been considering not going back that way.
Going into a different place, far uncharted, not gone through by yourselves. Yes.
No, going
Very
back
much
to
so.
Podrock Town, but taking the main road.
I suppose it would look much less suspicious for two gnomes by themselves to be walking the main road then. us coming
I,
towards Minzabranson.
Especially walking away from Enzo Branson. But we'll go a good many miles off trail before we meet up with the main road. But we can kind of travel alongside it for a ways before we're forced to take that path. I'll show you. You'll see. But this is the last day of our journeys together. So drink up. A toast to you. Everyone, make sure you've got your fill. I don't know if you'll survive the day. So it's been quite nice. Oh, and I do owe you. I do owe you a cask.
Oh,
That's
very
right.
Comforting.
A cask of whiskey.
We should probably do that now instead of on the road, yeah?
Yes, I suppose so. He pulls out the portable hole, climbs down. Let's see who has got some. These casks are not like Jack Daniel's barrels, casks of whiskey. They're more like I don't know.
They're gnome sized.
Yeah, yeah. He's kind of like hoisting it, but for him, you
Here.
could like hold it in your arms.
Give me.
And he like lifts it up.
I
There we
grab
are.
it and
then.
just. Yep. Thank you. Hey, Vale.
Again, I'm not sure if it'll fit.
Let's just give it a try. You know.
All right. Make a
I'm attempting to
dexterity
put it in the thing.
check.
A dexterity check.
Yes.
Oh fuck. Just regular old dexterity.
Mhm.
That's all right. Nothing.
You know.
It's not like I have anything better for it anyway.
The
Did
dexterous
it not roll?
of
Hello?
dexterity.
Oh, hey, 18.
All right. Yeah, you actually managed to kind of put it in bottom first and wriggle it in and get it. Once it gets to the center of the barrel where it bows out, it really does catch. Oop.
Yeah, all right. So we just call it up and then stick a
Make
straw in.
Perception check. You and Vale.
It's a good thing I'm proficient in that. Hey, Nerdy's winning.
I'm not.
All right. You actually both hear so slightly that you could convince yourself that it was a trick of your minds. The sound of stitches ripping as you push it in.
It's not coming back out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Like, we'll just take a straw and
You pour it right out of the bag of holding.
yeah, just call it up to the mouth. Put a straw. No problem.
I think that would actually work, wouldn't it?
Potentially.
Have straws been invented in D&D?
No, but I have.
Sure, like reeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reeds, you
Reed
know,
straws?
funnels, like. I'm pretty sure
I'm not sure it's a
someone
commonplace
at-
for drinking, but
I sip my whiskey through straws.
But
Oh,
a tap would totally
okay.
exist.
Fancy.
yeah, you could just tap it all on
True,
the floor.
True.
Fun fact, straws were invented between 6,000 and 7,000 years ago and by the ancient Mesopotamians.
There you go.
Probably the reeds. The reeds.
No, reeds are for like instruments.
No.
Yeah, like
No.
woodwind.
Jay.
Silly Sid.
So,
You ever use
That-
a clarinet as a straw?
no, I have never used a clarinet as a straw. It's got lots of holes in it.
I feel like you
Well,
could
you have to
probably
just, like,
do that.
have
It wouldn't be
it
very
down.
effective.
There are
You
more
have to
holes than
close all the
fingers,
holes.
for sure.
Oh God.
It's a good way to make sure that the clarinet player actually has got their entire keys covered.
I don't think that is actually a good way to do that.
It's
Mostly
a way to
because
do
of-
it.
Sorry for derailing.
Yes. So, you guys have the lead. As you prepare for the day, any preparation needs to be done. Those of you who prepare spells or want to resume attunement slot review or anything of the sort.
Do we
I-
have? Go ahead.
Will give myself the ability to. What's my third one? Jerry, go ahead.
Do we have any extra rations?
We have a cleric.
Okay. Vale, could you
do
like?
have some. You do have some hardtack and rations. I'd say, if I recall correctly, you have about a week's worth, like 10 days worth of rations. They wouldn't be particularly good. It's literally like dehydrated crackers and smoked meat, jerky, crackers and beef jerky.
I will take one of my sun replacement vitamins.
Okay.
I
Good
have
to
been
know.
taking those regularly as well. Yes.
All right, very good. Deduct those from your inventory as you've been taking those, if you've been taking them daily.
I'm also going to take out the flask and I'm going to polish it.
How many days has it been since we left?
This is the
Podrick?
morning of the third day.
This is our fourth
Dawn
day
of the
in
third
the
day.
Underdark.
This is the morning of the third day since you left Podrock.
You're right, correct. But this is our fourth day in the Underdark.
Yes.
I'm giving myself a climbing speed.
Okay. That's a cool feature. Hey, that's a cool feature you got there, Fal.
Thanks. I use my climbing speed to climb things, you see.
Yes.
It's very useful.
Brilliant.
Anything else before we really dig in?
I think we're ready.
All right. Excellent. Miles and Chip lead you down the stairs from the kind of the sleeping area, sleeping quarters of this kind of smuggler's repose. And instead of turning towards the docks and the boats from whence you've come, you head down a long tunnel. It's sized for an adult person, so the gnomes look quite short in it. But as you all make your way down this tunnel, it winds slightly, all kind of hand-carved, man-made. None of it's natural stone. At the end of it, there is a door that opens out, and as you exit, you find yourselves in an enormous cavern. More enormous. I've said that a lot as you've traveled through the Underdark, and I understand that. This is so large that if you were to squint or be quite drunk, you could mistake this for being on the surface at night. The ceiling is so far away that it is nigh imperceptible. This chasm spans such a large, like miles and miles and miles. And as you look out, you step out of this door onto a cliff, a precipice, a rocky stone outcropping that descends sharply down, and you can look out across terrain. You're looking at what could be equated to like a mountainous highland on the surface. Just imagine that every time you would see like a pine tree growing out of a craggy rock, here it's an enormous mushroom that casts just a little bit of light. And all across this terrain, you can see mountains and valleys, various fungal growths. You can see wild creatures. It's like looking out over a wilderness from a vista. It's just enormous. And at the horizon, a very far distance, you can see a pinprick of light, and then what we would know as just light pollution. So it's so dark otherwise that there is just a haze of light in the distance at the horizon. There she is, capital of the Drow Empire, Menzo Branson. No more than 6, maybe 8 hours walk away, depending on how quick you can navigate the rocks.
So, let me ask a question. How really important is it that we go to the city?
Well, I don't recommend it at all. Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the.
Oh, alright. Alright, I'll shut
Talking
up then.
to everyone else. Like, I understand that this is the point of reference, but what if we didn't go into the city?
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm plenty happy not going there.
So everyone knows how we're going to find the River Styx without going into the city, right?
I don't know
Right.
how we would find
No.
it either way.
Great, great, great. So we got ourselves here. So what next?
I'd say
Uh,
we've probably made it 85% of the way. It's pretty good.
That last 15% is a bit of a doozy, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna celebrate our success.
Sure, sure, great. So I guess we don't know. So what's the best way to find out how to get there without going into the city of the people who want to kill everyone who has a dingle between their legs?
Well, here's the thing. I like that you said that. Dinkle, I'm going to use that. That's a good one. How would going into the city even help us anyway? Right? Who's to say that they know that it even exists?
I don't know.
Realistically, I mean, we don't really have the kind of time to just look around for it, but that might be the safer option. It's not an ideal one, but it's one where we don't necessarily end up dead.
And above table, we were told what direction the River Styx is in
I
relation
believe it
to,
was south of
That's
the-
what I thought too.
but south as in underneath, not south as in cardinal direction. I don't remember. I feel like
No,
there was a discussion
so
about
it would
that,
be
and I don't
cardinal direction.
remember. Okay.
There was a discussion about that. It might be both, but it is most certainly south cardinally.
Okay. So we know which way is north then.
Roughly where we came from.
Okay. So on the opposite side of the city from where we're looking now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we sort of have to circumnavigate the city
Great.
while avoiding any
So-
scouting parties.
Yeah, so if you guys imagine the city as a clock, just to help me with the cardinal directions, you guys are at like 10:30.
Yes.
So we're entering in from the northwest.
And we
Yes.
think that this River Styx is at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. We think.
Yep.
Thereabouts.
Is there? I mean, I'm sure there's not like a sign that says, "Hey, this lie the river Styx," but there has to be. It's a myth. It's a mythological. I guess it's not mythological. It's a magical river of souls. I feel like it would have some type of.
Signpost?
The
or
closer
something?
we get, obviously it should be easier to like. There's something weird here.
Yeah, I suppose if we start seeing ghosts, that's probably.
mean,
Can
it
anybody
just-
see into?
That is.
Would Tor even be smart enough to ask that question?
Make an Arcana check.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes is the answer though.
14.
Yeah. You know where, especially due to your relationship with the Earl King, you know where souls transgress when they transgress upon the material plane.
Would anybody be able to look into the ethereal plane and try to see what's like? I mean, if you can see the souls, if it's a river of souls, right? You can look in the ethereal and see a congregation. I'm sure they put off some amount of energy light or some shit. It's pretty dark in here.
Does your monocle have that ability? Math says fail. I'm sorry, not fail. Math says bell.
my monocle does not, but I do
I
have a
do.
spell that allows me to see invisible creatures and objects, and as if they were visible. And additionally, it says "and" here in my my musical notebook, see into the ethereal plane. So that's
Yeah,
that
I-
is,
Can do that as well in a couple different ways.
Great.
And also, I can always try and reach out for guidance from whatever is.
Well.
I have ways to question where we should go.
Remember, it's how you use it, Vale. That's all I'll say about it, though.
I imagine it is uncomfortable. Like, imagine going home to your mother, except it's not your mother, but everyone accepts that it is your mother.
That's not a good point of reference either. Sorry. Yeah, we can.
How you use it. Oh gosh. Okay. Sorry.
Right. It's
you
not
think sexual
the size of the ship. It's the motion of the ocean.
We're referencing the moon, red moon stuff, not the other. Gotcha. I understand. Sorry. It took
No,
me a
we're
second to gather.
mentioning how little Miles is.
Oh, well, listen, it's okay. It's okay. There's more than one. There's
Yeah,
more
it's
than
how
one
you
way
use
to
it
skin a
now.
cat.
It's fine. You're great.
There's more than one way to pleasure anyone. So,
I'm
but
This
now
is not
moving
one of
forward.
Well, we know that the River Styx is not here. We should go to where we think it is,
Right.
which is south of the city.
Chip and I will take you to the main road. Show you what we can along the way to try and safely navigate this wilderness. Try and point out some edible mushrooms. Though, if you're not 100% certain, I would leave them because it's not worth it. And then, and what kind of beasts to look out for and how to, where you should shelter and hunker down. So that if you wish to, continue traveling overland, I should say, not along the path, you might have a better chance of it. This main chasm, this main cavern here, is probably 80 to 120 miles across. It encompasses the city of Minzo Branson and its surrounding outposts, as well as the Black Lake.
Why is it called the Black Lake?
Probably because of its color.
Okay.
and its size and
Sure.
contents.
Nah. The Black Lake is such because, well, hard to say for sure, but it's one of the few subterranean freshwater sources where bioluminescent fish will not breed or live. I'm pretty sure the
So
Drow
everything's
tried to
dead.
introduce them a couple of times. Oh no, plenty of fish in the lake.
Oh, okay.
It's a major food source for the Drow. But for whatever reason, it just sucks up light.
Is it on
Some
the south
say
side of the
that's-
city?
What's that?
Is it on the other side of the city from us?
It encompasses. We'll see it soon enough. The city comes right up to the coast of the Black Lake. The Black Lake itself surrounds the city on the southern and western sides.
Well, maybe it's in the water. You guys.
Yep, that sounds. Most of the time, when there's water, there's other water.
So-
Something feeding.
So it's on the western and southern side of the
lake,
city.
yes. The city is on a small outcropping into the lake that well, a large outcropping really, but geographically speaking, the lake actually surrounds it from around due west down to around south by southeast.
So it's going to be nearly impossible for us to walk to the southern part of the city without going through the city.
I mean, we can just go around the other side.
All right,
It
I can
would-
do that.
Take significantly longer, I would imagine. Well, I do have my swan boat.
You could sail, yeah. You should know that the Black Lake is often troughed by drow fishermen and corsairs, drow patrols. Some of the drow's largest naval fleet exists on the Black Lake. It's so large that it is used to ship between Minzo Branson and other colonies on the far side of the lake.
I'm getting the feeling that there's not a way to not go into the city.
Oh, sure, you can, like I said, you can sail across.
We just go
You
around
can-
the other side. I
go
don't know
around
what
to the
y'all's
east.
obsession is with going in to the city that's almost certainly going to want to kill all of us. I don't know what the obsession is with that, but we just go around it.
No one's obsessed. I'm just saying. It just seems like going around is also not that easy either.
Well, better than everything actively trying to kill you.
It's the Underdark. Everything is always actively trying to kill you.
Yes. Speaking
Okay,
of which,
maybe the
you said.
concentration of things trying to kill you. How about that?
I mean, we went through Cholt. I feel like we're accustomed to everything trying to kill us.
I don't. Know
We
what
didn't go
you're
through Cholt.
talking about.
I should not say. I did not go through Cholt. You
It's a
guys
fair
went
point.
through Cholt.
It's a
Okay.
fair point.
So
The intelligence of the things that were surrounding us in Cholt far
Dwarf.
are dwarfed by the intelligence
No.
of drow females.
Offense to present company.
That was rather insensitive again.
I mean, the zombies weren't really that.
I've known plenty of smart zombies in my time.
And you're definitely smarter than all of them.
Well, if they're smart, then they're probably a lich, which we also encountered.
that's a fair point,
Two of them,
actually.
actually.
All right. So about us then. As Mitch,
Right. Take
Mitch,
us to the path.
Chip, and Miles begin making their way overland. This is again. So imagine like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a place like this, but like Colorado or Wyoming, it's just like rock and terrain. It's strangely similar to what you might find on the surface. It's just in the Underdark. There's mushrooms everywhere. The only source of light anywhere comes from the bottoms of these mushroom caps that create this kind of ambience. Although most of you have dark vision of some kind or can activate it.
Nope.
You're doing great.
Nope. That's true. There's enough dim light that the mushrooms provide that you can navigate without it being dangerous. Although many of your party can see much better than you can in this kind of lighting. But as you traverse valleys and hills, there is a very faint hint of a path that you're following along, this smuggler's route, but it's intentionally not well beaten, because it hikes off from the main road to a surreptitious little door in the wall of the cavern. So it is intended to be quite difficult to follow, and difficult to detect. As you make your way, a couple of hours in, you do see a number of the natural wildlife and beasts of the Underdark. Massive underpigs, or moles, moles that are roughly the size of cows, that kind of maneuver amongst the rocks, sniffing and eating mushrooms. There are long-horned ram that live down here. They appear almost completely blind. They have just cataract eyes, but they have massive ears, and they're twitching in all directions at all times. And they kind of stamp their feet in a metronomic sort of fashion, constantly creating little clicks. You can imagine that they probably navigate via echolocation. Really unusual for these like bighorn sheep kind of creatures, these enormous ears flipping back and forth. But they navigate the rocks with absolute ease, and are really difficult to keep up with or try and run down. Although Chip says that they make a decent meal if you're able to catch one. You see a couple of giant centipede that you're told to avoid if at all possible, as they are neither tasty nor friendly. And otherwise, just make your way through kind of the wilderness. At around the 6-hour mark, you come upon. Let me get my. Should not have put this thing that I needed on my desktop. So I have full screens all over. Okay. Ultimately, you come to a precipice of stone that looks down onto a well-trodden road. Miles kind of army crawls up to the precipice and looks down. Well, here we are, gents. As far as we go. Even as you kind of creep up and look over, you can see it's sparsely traveled. But spending just 5 minutes kind of watching the foot traffic here and there, you are able to spot a trio of drow warriors in pure shiny black plate mail with long silver halberds whose blades are shaped like spiders' fangs, riding on enormous wolf spiders as mounts.
I hate everything about what you just said.
Everything, all of the
I kind
traffic.
of want one of the halberds though. Not gonna...
I mean, yes,
They sound
but,
pretty cool.
The foot traffic clears off to the side as these scouts come through, and the road is wide enough. It's about 15 feet wide. It's like a well-beaten path. It's paved, but paved long ago by ancient flagstones, which are kind of cracked, and you can only barely make out the seams between them. So much kind of dust has settled between them. But everyone gives a wide berth to these, and they're not like galloping or skittering. These spiders, these enormous kind of hairy wolf spiders, are kind of in a stately trot, kind of just gradually crawling over the road as these drow warriors, all female, the three of them travel in chevron formation down the road, looking to and fro.
Bell looks down. Just want to make sure. Right, pass. Yeah.
So you're still about 2, maybe 3 hours away from Inzobransen, if you were to take the main road, which I don't recommend unless you've got some really fancy disguises or some way to convince them that you're a guest.
Just a couple of questions for you. What is the common language that they speak here?
Elvish, but
Elvish.
strange dialect.
I've heard a bit of it. And they, the ears, are they more like this or more like this? And Belle will change her ears.
No, they're it's weird. They're look a lot like elf ears, I suppose. Have not seen too many
Alright.
elves.
Right. I'll change it to a general long elf ear. And skin pigment, are they like more grey? And she'll shift.
They can
Or are
range.
they more charcoal?
That's so weird. Why you're doing that? They can range from a pallid stone grey color to a deep purple, violet, or anywhere in between. They almost always have a grey or pure white hair.
Mhm. Her hair goes white. And her skin goes deep purple. As for the elvish, is it more like this, or is it more like this, or?
I couldn't even start with that. In Underdark accents of Elvish, it's above table. It's like the equivalent of Scouse for English. So like the Beatles.
Gotcha.
Like if they
Like Liverpool.
like Liverpool. Like if they talk too fast, you might be entirely incapable of understanding what they're saying.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, it really has been an adventure traveling with you lot. But I think Chip and I will be making our way back now. This has been well worth the gold, but I'm glad nothing worse
I hand
happened.
him another bag as well.
Thank you kindly, sir. Good doing business with the lot of you. Chip and I are going to make our
don't die,
way.
okay?
I will try not to. We're pretty sneaky.
Just don't get high again until you're safe.
Well, we'll see. We're going to make our way a couple of miles back north along the main road until it starts to get into a little bit more open road territory. There's a Duragar establishment about 2 days away. If we can make it a good ways up that way, it'll be in more kind of open ground, and we'll be able to take the roads back. Well, this is
been
goodbye. Crazy
It was a
tools.
pleasure.
Yeah, I really hope you don't die. You know, I've never said
Yeah,
that
you
to anyone
too.
before.
There's a good chance we will.
I don't know why we have to speak so pessimistically. I think we're going to try very hard to make smart decisions, and I'm sure that we will see you in Podrock Town in no time.
He cannot make that guarantee.
Tell you what. You come back and see us in Podrock Town. And the booze are on Chip and I.
Fuck,
I'm
we gotta
writing
make
this
it
down.
back.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah,
just be
Alucard, we
aware.
gotta make it back.
Yeah,
You have no idea
if we.
the sort of
may.
financial commitment you've just made.
This man will be
Well,
able
it's a
to
good
drink
thing I'll
again
probably
very
never
soon.
have to pay up. Good luck though, really.
I'm gonna make you pay for that.
And they begin to slink off away. So as you all kind of sit, you're underneath one of these mushrooms. This one doesn't produce a ton of light. It's a dark golden color, and it's got kind of this kind of droopy, almost like jellyfish tendrils coming down from the gills beneath the cap. And you're all kind of like up underneath it, army crawled up to the precipice of this stone wall that just kind of drops maybe 25 feet down into an intentionally carved out portion where the road is now traveling. This was like clearly like some kind of slope or mountain range that just got blasted through or otherwise terraformed with magic to create the road. So it's just kind of, you know, like in Tennessee when it's just like cut right through the mountain.
Alright, guys, so, are we going around? Or are we going through?
All in favor of going around, say aye.
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 The city?
I.
Yes.
Going around the city.
Yeah, we should probably go around.
Alright,
That
great.
seems to be the prudent decision.
Great
Alright.
news. So, are we going to try and sail it? Or are we going to try and
I
not?
say we walk the shore on the far side.
We
It'll
could-
take us the longest, but it gives us the highest chance of success.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything with going over that water, so
So let me
going
give you
around
an
the east
idea.
will be better.
Has anyone read the name of the map that we're on, by the way?
I have.
Okay.
Multiple
Make sure.
times.
I have not read the name of the map.
I
I'm
just
not
read
on
it
the
just
same map
now
as
for the
you.
first time.
Oh,
Oh.
no. You don't have to worry about that. Seriously.
I'm not there. I am still at the smuggler's respite, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Much less daunting than Void Dragon Lair Underdark.
It's just generic
18
Underdark.
Void Dragon Flare Under.
It's just I wish the
Sure.
map names were hidden. Yes, they're always
There must
panicky.
be
Panicky,
18 Void
panicky.
Dragons here.
Panicky. I wonder why.
18
I wonder
Void
why we're
Dragons
panicking.
in the Underdark. Ready
I
to
mean,
go.
Ken keeps trying to say that you guys have beat a dragon, so
I'm not making
I
fun.
also say that thing. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, what, two each? That's
Yeah,
math.
2 each. We won't
I'm
worry about the other
sorry.
6. 2 each.
okay.
Thanks.
Um,
Now
Bye,
it's.
William.
Now it's.
Bye, William.
2 dragons apiece. Void dragons, sorry. Void dragons apiece. Let's see if I can find something where I can kind of.
quick to MS Paint.
Yeah, that's basically what I need, but I don't know how to like put that up on stream.
Does anyone have a couple questions they want to? They'd be curious to ask a extra planner being, because there's a chance that this could. And he very gingerly opens up the bag of holding, and calls out the coin.
An extra planar being. I would like to know if the river Styx
Yeah.
intersects with the lake or
Cool.
not.
That's one of the questions I was going to ask as well. But this is just trying to see if this could guide us at all. We started this with the idea that we could find the path, but that got us to where we're at now. And I still feel really bad about stealing that guy's shit for nothing.
If we did not have the Scarlet Marpanoff, it would have been
Oh
a much different
no!
adventure.
Yes. It was more that we, again, just kind of got thrown into this without any planning at all, because that was not what was supposed to happen.
True. We also didn't know that Thomas was a winter spirit. Was a big help. What else did you intend to ask?
Those are the two questions that I had in mind. And I can ask a third. Yeah.
If there's nothing pressing, I would always be grateful for any information regarding the location of Hansen.
If you could word that in the yes or no question and gain something from that, I'd be happy to ask.
So I would like to just come out and say it, because I have a question I would like you to ask the spirit, but it's a very selfish question. It does pertain to something less trivial than sex or alcohol, though.
You did say less trivial.
Yes, right? That's the correct word. Less trivial, because
Right,
sex and
but it
alcohol would
does-
be more trivial.
That's,
Right?
that is true, but it implies that, by nature of what you're saying, it implies that it's still trivial.
No, I don't think it's trivial. I don't think any of you care about the answer. I just care about the answer.
Well, I was just commenting on the way the phrasing that you chose to use.
I was just
It's
trying
pretty
to
telling.
preface.
I believe.
I was trying
What
to
is your
preface-
say
question,
about that.
Alucard?
Ask me your question, Bridgekeeper.
Ask me
I'm
your
not
question,
afraid.
Bridgekeeper. I am not afraid. Oh goodness.
I only thought of it because Vale said something. I would like to know if my parents are alive, but that's a relatively not. It's not important in
What
regards
is
to the
up
grand
with you,
scheme of what we're
Jerry, and
doing.
always caring about your parents in D&D? I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I'm mad about it.
Do all my parents care about their parents? Errol doesn't care about his parents.
Well, he's a god, so
Okay.
He could theoretically just check in on them on his downtime. So
Yet Ode cared about his parents. You had that one guy with his bear, which is kind of, familial.
wow.
Do you think it would be smart to ask if there is methods by which we must summon?
When the time.
Oh,
You're talking about the.
when we get to
Ferryman.
Styx, will the ferryman be there?
I feel like
It's a
that may
good
not be the
question.
best. But is it a good question to ask in this situation? I mean, he either will or he won't be.
well, sure. However, we could go ahead and start thinking about.
Well, we could say if it takes us an extra day and Vale is capable, we could ask on another day if there is an incantation to summon him, if there's something that we need to know specifically, or if he just comes on a schedule. I think it might be worth asking, just to know what to expect when we get there.
All right, a really shitty MS Paint map incoming.
Oh, it's
My
so
body was
good.
ready.
Those are my favorite.
University City Map.
Universal City. Yeah.
Where are we, DM?
to the north and west on the same sort of peninsula between the two rivers.
I do not see a map.
It's in
It
chat.
is in the
Picture.
chat box,
Uh,
not the Discord one.
If you
Where
see
the
something
star
that looks
is?
really
No, the
shitty-
star is Menzo Branson. You all are to the north and west.
and it's oriented north at the top,
Yes,
south at the bottom. Okay.
And the blue stuff is the sea.
it's the Black Lake. Yes,
Shouldn't it be?
That is huge.
it is. It rivals like small oceans. Yes.
Oh, how are we ever gonna find?
I'm pretty sure I just heard gunshots.
Oh gosh.
That's good.
In the Underdark?
Oh,
That
I
echoed
heard.
pretty loud in the Underdark.
No, the real ones, like the ones that are would
The
call
real
me to
dark.
do this face.
The ones with real
Yeah,
guns, not just fantasy guns.
That's even more dangerous.
The
right.
non-fantasy.
even more.
Those ones typically don't crit fail.
I'm hearing non-fantasy gunshots.
Catch
These are
you all
not
on Fantasy Friday.
gunshots.
My favorite Friday.
Well.
Yes,
Will's
it's
stream dropped.
again. This is like looking out over, like I said, this cavern. As Mitch, I keep doing that. Miles and Chip said, the cavern in which Menzo Branson exists is between 80 and 120 miles across. And that's just the large opening where the city is and the surrounding areas. The lake itself extends even further out beyond that. Think like, Lake Superior. This is not a small lake.
Question.
Yes.
So, Menzo Branson is on the little peninsula, boy. That's
Yeah.
great. Is it like city up to water, or is it like
Yes, very much so.
Okay. so the
Actually,
entire peninsula is occupied by city?
now that you're closer and can see, mostly, yes. Now that you're closer and can see, the city is made much like that, the same kind of architecture that the last sort of Smuggler's Respite was made out of. It's these massive stalagmites that come down and meet stalactites that come up, and where they join, they create these enormous columns, and imagine that is like a skyscraper, and those kind of adjourn and meet and drip together. Some of it may have been natural to begin with, but now probably most of it has been terraformed with magic to create this multi-layered city that just extends all the way up to the ceiling. So much taller than any city on the surface because they're working from both directions. So it's like, imagine the tallest city on the surface, not the tallest perhaps, but like your general really high buildings on the surface, double that height, because it's like that height from above and that height from below, and then they kind of meet and commingle, and there's bridges, and this entire kind of geographic marvel extends out to the river, and in some cases, the lake, out to the lake, and in some cases some of those hanging buildings extend over the lake to a degree.
Terrifying.
So it's definitely in the water then.
What's in the water?
There's a lady
The-
in the water.
The River Styx.
We're still not certain of that, but given
If we know that it is a couple miles south of the city,
Right.
and the city goes all the way up to the water, then it's definitely in the water.
I'm hesitant to believe that a river that goes through different pockets of space and time has to be Euclidean. It could be in the air above the water, but digressionally, yes, it must be in that direction.
I guess it also doesn't have to be a lake of water. It is a river of souls. So I mean, it may not be water.
But you would think it would be, though.
How
I'm
how
just-
taxing is it for either of you to look into the ethereal?
It's not very, but it does
do it
take a
for about-
resource.
Yeah, do it about an hour. I can
Because
do it.
My
better
only
than
question is
that
if
as
it's
well.
easy enough just to look. I mean, theoretically, if the whole fucking river Styx, we could probably see it if it was just floating in the air. So
True.
Also, what does Euclidean mean?
I wasn't gonna ask.
It is a theoretical. So, in the monks' land, they teach us certain sciences so that we can
So
prepare
you have monk
ourselves for
school?
going. Yes, the monastic tradition is deep and.
Everyone
honorable.
make a stealth check.
Ah.
Stale. Stealth,
PC.
stealth.
God damn it.
Oh, goodness. Oh. Oh.
Oof.
Oh.
Thorn ignites flames.
Um, As Ekin is trying to explain Euclidean, and actually is being one of the stealthiest amongst you, somehow.
Whisper very well.
They can literally hear our confusion.
Who has the highest? Who has the
Double.
highest passive insight? I mean, passive perception.
How do I know
What
what
is
that
passive?
is?
Your passive
It's
perception
next to
score,
your modifier.
yeah, is 10 plus your perception score.
Oh, mine's 15.
Okay.
Mine is also 15.
Okay.
Is mine at 22?
Only if you are in the Oni.
I am, because when we walked, I needed
Mine
it for night
is
vision.
14.
I definitely don't have the highest.
Mine's at 22.
Vale, Dorn, and Eken notice that as the scout, the trio of spider-mounted drow warriors begins to head back towards the city on their route, they have stopped and have begun to kind of spread out. You can hear kind of distantly down below as they're talking quietly to themselves. They're speaking in Elvish, but they say, "Could be a dire bear." Oh, it could be. But better check it out. The spider sensed something.
We should hide now if we could.
Yeah, we need to move now.
We have a hole. We have a portable hole.
We do have a portable hole.
Do we have a way of closing the top of it so they can't see inside?
I can
I mean,
make myself invisible and hold on to the hole. I'm very stealthy.
Okay,
Spiders
that's
begin
great.
to
Let's do
spread
it.
out.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Where's the hole?
Who's got the
Okay.
fucking hole?
We take the hole out of Vale's bag. Bag of holding.
Wait,
I
the
don't think
invisible
the hole is not in the bag.
Oh,
of
it's not in the
holding.
bag of
No,
holding.
it
That's true.
definitely is not.
You're-
No,
you're
yeah.
correct.
The portable
Hey,
hole is not in
does
the bag.
Alucard have it? Does Alucard have it?
Why would I have it? I'm not the person to hold on to that thing.
I just can't
He
remember
also
who
has
took it.
an extra dimensional space. He also shouldn't hold on to
Yeah.
it.
True. Yes.
Okay, whomever has it, you'll decide who gets to keep it at the end of this.
Bell
Somebody pulls it out.
Presents the hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And lays it flat.
That was an interesting way of saying it.
While
Bell presents the hole.
Oh,
to
that's
save time,
uncomfortable.
while they are all getting in the
I don't
hole,
like
I'm gonna
getting
go ahead and
this
become
anymore.
invisible. I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
All right, cast invisibility on yourself using key magic.
ninja art.
Exactly.
Just a above table mechanical thing. Does light escape the portable hole?
Not if it's folded.
Okay, but he wouldn't fold us with it. He wouldn't fold it with us in it.
I'm going to fold.
I
you
mean,
with- folded with you in it.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
think
great,
that's the
great,
point.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah, you're
You
gonna have
go
I
into
think
the
what
portable
10 minutes of air to breathe.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes. I
less
thought you
because
said
I'm
30.
gonna ignite flame tongue.
I would
No,
advise
you're
against
not.
that. We have other ways.
We
to
have
circulate light than
lantern.
Just that.
No, I'm.
You're gonna
advise
take up
against
so
that.
much.
We'll burn our
Anyway,
oxygen.
are you in the hole? I'm folding the hole.
Yeah, as you all climb down.
Well,
Remember, this is appointed like basically like a college dorm room. Like it's everything is small and built for gnomes. If you guys want to keep this as like a portable apartment, you would want to refurnish it. But because everything is like too short, Vale fits perfectly on everything. It's
I
fine.
cast a light on Dorn's forehead
Uh,
once the thing is closed.
But there is also like a small stove, like one of those pot-bellied chimney stoves, and a little coffee table and a little couch. So as you all kind of, y'all have lost your shit as you kind of climb down and hunker in. Iken folds the top over once, and it becomes completely dark in here. And he folds it again and puts it in his pocket, and he's invisible.
I'm mostly just laughing at how funny
the-
Chavis thought that was.
It caught me off guard. I don't know what to tell
The
you.
Yes.
spiders are crawling like along. Now they're coming like up the walls. Are any headed directly towards me?
Directly towards you, no. They're kind of fanned out. But you notice that they move in like short skittering bursts, kind of narrowing in on you, specifically when you move.
Oh boy. How
Like
far
they
is the
probably
other
don't
side?
rely on sight.
Sure. How far is the other side of the road from me? And is there like a
Oh,
ridgeline cliff above that?
Yes, because this path was cut into the hill.
Sure.
It's probably 35 feet across.
Is there one over there, or are they all headed kind of in my direction?
They're all kind of heading to your side, because again, they're responding to tremor sense.
I'm going to misty step to the other side of the ridge and fly as stealthily as I can, trying to kind of keep away from touching the walls or anything, just like flying along the route. And I'm gonna head
Along the road?
south, along the road towards Menzo Baranzan, and when I feel like I'm a good distance away from them,
Okay.
I'll get over on the side, that same ledge, try to kind of hide and open the hole back up. I know I
Okay.
can't go too far because I've only got like 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
after like
You-
8 minutes or so.
After about, that's what I was going to say, 8 minutes of traveling, you come upon a lookout post.
So they don't. This is greater invisibility.
No, it's just invisibility.
Oh, so Misty Step
Is
would drop it.
invisibility is broken when you cast a
Oh,
spell.
okay. Well then I would just like to, since they're not like right up on me, I'll just fly across and
Okay.
then fly down.
Notable that your boots make a flapping noise. Would
Yeah,
you like to take some elevation first?
yes.
Yeah, as you soar up, you're still a long way away from the ceiling of this chamber.
Right.
But as you get higher up and get a better view looking out across the wilderness of the Underdark, you can kind of get an idea for the ecosystem. You can see there is a flock of what you think is birds flying nearby. As they kind of begin to get closer to you and you're getting a better view of them, they're just bird-sized moths. And they're just kind of
Interesting.
flittering
That's cool.
about. And as you watch, you're avoiding the spiders, but you're kind of also caught in awe of the view and the what's going on as you're kind of flying along. As you watch the moths, you see a horse-sized vampire bat drop out of near invisibility stealth from above and just absolutely clobber one of these moths and take it away.
Wow. Noted.
I use the term vampire bat loosely. I don't mean to give you
Yes, nope, I got it.
this is
Trigger
a completely natural
Yes.
large giant bat. Yes.
I'm in danger.
So I get to this watch house and
I will
like
give you
there are
a
lights on and I can there are
it
people
is
in there.
it is a like
I
watch
guess they
tower.
wouldn't need lights.
They would not need lights, but it is a watchtower built up out of, again, terraformed via magic. It looks like a garrison or some sort of major military outpost. I will send you a picture.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. And how far away am I from this?
It is along the road. The road kind of leads underneath its the portions of the outpost are made to sort of mimic that of a bat's wings, kind of stylistically, and the road travels beneath the outpost.
Before I get like directly underneath it, I'm gonna get over to the side up on that ridge, and I'm gonna open up the hole and jump down and go, don't talk too loudly. Don't talk too loudly. We're not in a good place to get out at all. If you want to see where we're at, you can. It's right up there. Maybe I fly another 10 minutes, or what do you want to do? Do you want to get out and walk from here? There are no guards that I can see.
Oh, there are lots of guards in the
Never mind,
in and
there are
around
a
the
bunch of
bastion.
guards all over.
In and around the yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should walk through that then. Yeah. Definitely not.
Okay. So we're good to go.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not walking. Oh, by the way, it was getting really stuffy in here. Please don't keep us that close for that long.
Ah, man, this place is fucking crazy. Okay, just
I don't want to. It got hard to
yeah,
breathe,
no,
man.
I know. Okay, all right.
So are you
6 or 7 minutes? Okay, gotcha.
Are you gonna continue
I'm gonna
along the road?
Why do you keep asking it like that, though? Why do you keep asking it like that?
Because the road leads to Menza Branson, and I thought you all had discussed that you didn't want to go
I
there.
wanted to go like southeast, like more towards the like
Gosh.
other
Southeast, to the eastern
No,
side
sorry.
of the city.
southwest,
Southwest. towards the
southwest over towards the lake. Like
Okay.
right towards the edge of the lake is where I'm trying to.
All right.
Okay.
Good to know. So as you fold them back up, okay, all right, okay. Put them in your pocket.
I reach
How
out
long does
to hold
invisibility
towards
last?
it.
How long
What?
does invisibility last?
Oh, I
A
can't see
minute?
it. No,
A minute.
invisibility
No, it
lasts
lasts an
longer than a
hour.
minute.
Regular
Hour.
invisibility
Invisibility
lasts an
lasts a
hour.
minute.
If you don't break it. Okay, great. Good to know. You begin to veer off to the south. Make a stealth check.
Do I make it with advantage because invisibility?
You're gonna make it normally.
Okay.
You do have advantage. You also have disadvantage
Got you.
for reasons I won't tell you.
Oh god. Okay, 26.
All right. Yeah, as you flitter past, getting a better look at the garrison here. It is chock-a-block full of warriors. You would think that either the Drow are at war, or like just being a warrior is the best occupation. I don't know. There are just so many.
Either
So
at
many
war or
warriors.
want to be.
They are well, yeah. You can also see, however, actually, as you fly out over the road, an enormous cart. There seems to be a large paper mache drider, like a parade float, in kind of pieces, being carted into the city. A drider is a spider centaur, human from the waist up, spider body from the waist down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just flying away, man.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Making your way over, once again, overland, moving much more quickly, being able to fly and be just yourself, not have to worry about anybody else, even while they suffocate in your pocket. You're able to make some significant distance here because your winged boots you can move. It's your movement speed. So
Yeah.
if you're dashing and not worrying about stuff, you're pretty quick. And in a matter of, we'll call it, let's see, because you can ignore terrain. Make an athletics check for me.
I'm not great at athletics.
Ooh, okay.
Really not great at athletics.
yeah,
Acrobatics I'm good at.
Yeah, you managed to get about a mile south
Okay,
of the road.
yeah. That's good.
Yep.
Okay.
Before you touch down. It's been about 6.5, 7 minutes. You open the hole again. You present the hole.
Okay. I think we're clear if you all want to get out. I'm going to leave my invisibility up just in case anything happens.
Just for me, though. You're not covered.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I'll get out.
I'm gonna send a boy to go straight up and just kind of like
Okay.
look around a little bit and then immediately come back down. I don't want him up there for long.
Yeah,
He will attempt to be a little stealthy, so I'll do one of them's.
okay, yeah, you can make a stealth check.
It was almost real good.
Great.
It wasn't real
13 to hit.
good. Good. That hits. Meets it.
Eight points of piercing damage
Poof.
as a large bat basically bomb dives from the ceiling. It begins flapping rapidly as soon as it collides. As soon as it would normally take its prey, the prey vanishes and it looks really confused. And flaps away.
That is an unfortunate set of numbers that you gave me. Exactly, and then one more than exact.
That is the way that dice work sometimes.
It was very unfortunate.
You should ask Dwayne Gang all about unfortunate dice.
Oh, I've heard about this. What a tremendous time they must have had.
So, as you all climb up out of your little gnomish apartment, you find yourselves kind of in a valley. Not a big valley, more like a trench, I should say. Craggy, mossy, lichen-covered rock outcroppings on either side of you, such that like you could walk a couple feet and put your hand on either side of the ravine. Not like, maybe 5 to 6 feet across at any given point. Not super wide at all, but like a nice little place to sort of tuck away out of view from the watch post in the distance. Again, mushrooms dot the landscape. Some of them growing out of the walls at strange angles. Some of these tall, super tall, like rocket-shaped mushrooms. Some of them large, umbrella-shaped mushrooms. And probably the most common are these little, almost like patches of just tiny little circular-headed mushrooms that let off light. And just like a large patch of it crawling along the walls. So?
Where do we go to next? Like we have to.
Do we want me to ask my whatever?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
dropped
sorry.
Will.
Yep.
We would also like to ask, or I know 2 other questions were presented. I will leave it to your discretion, which we do, but it might be worth knowing if the ferryman to the river Styx will be there when we get there, or if he is on a schedule.
That's fair. I guess I just assumed we'd present it to the river and he'd appear. We didn't really get any clarification on that.
He may not show up as soon as we get there.
Yeah, and actually might be best if I did this in the hole, just to keep a bit
Fair.
more muffled.
Do you want us to fold it?
No,
Okay.
it will take me more time than I have to cast the spell.
I just didn't know if
You
it was
guys
going
are
to produce light.
kind of briefly camping here. Yeah, there is a little bit of light produced from inside the hole if you guys like stoke the stove to create a little bit of warmth. It's chilly. it's a dry, kind of chill down here, but it's not like debilitatingly cold. I'd say it's a crisp 38. It's not comfy, but it's not like dangerous to your health.
Is
Cameron.
Lehman's tiny hut concentration?
No.
No.
Could we put the hut up around the hole and leave it open and not worry about the light?
Yeah, cover your hole.
Yeah, I can do that. That's just gonna give us a bit more time before that starts. But yeah, that should work.
All right.
I will use a spell slot for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
To
figured
not
this.
have more time.
Yeah, as you cast the dome of magical energy
It does take a minute.
within dull shadows swirl from outside, concealing your actions and location, kind of creating a subtle dim spot in the area. The portable hole easily fits within the space as you climb down. Anyone who enters will pretty much have to be. I think they have the same radius, so yes.
I'll drop invisibility. And start the fire.
All right, as you kind of climb down into the portable apartment. Tell me what's up.
I will begin to ritual cast commune.
I'm going to keep watch. Keep an ear out, I guess.
Okay.
Bell will use. I want to say it's 4 charges. Let me double check. I'm gonna use requisite amount of charges to cast the Arcane Eye. Just to,
Perfect.
and I'm just gonna start spiraling for the duration of the eye, just spiraling out around us, just to see, get an idea of what.
Yeah. So you do notice a small pack of displacer beasts prowling. They are hunting a kind of traveling pack of these large bighorned sheep with enormous ears slowly across the terrain, carefully stalking them. You're also able to see, because it's blind sight, if you go up high enough, you're able to see a pretty dense sort of zigzaggy, I don't want to say layer, but like a height in the chamber at which these massive bats are just flying to and fro. You can see them every now and then as they pass. As you kind of circle around as well, you don't really see anything other than just wilderness, but you can eventually see to the south from your height where the banks of the lake begin to encroach upon the stone terrain. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, I was just looking for if we were being followed, if there's any people, if there was some sort of river of souls just happen to be around us, general
Sure,
things
sure.
like that. Yeah.
No, yeah,
You know, nothing
unfortunately,
like super.
you get a good idea for the
specific.
terrain right around you, but you don't see. Fortunately, you don't see anyone in pursuit from the watch house, which you can still see if you fly up high enough and turn back. The garrison along the road to the south. It's probably the first major checkpoint on the way into Minzo-Branson. You're really quite close to Minzo-Branson now, like within a couple of miles, and you're beginning to see several miles away. You're beginning to see the first evidences, just in the distance, of like what would be the outlying structures, the outlying huts and residences around the city. People who aren't rich enough to live in the city, but live close by so they can trade. You're still several miles away from like even the most kind of outskirts of those, but you don't see any rivers of souls, unfortunately.
Cool deal.
I'm gonna do two things. I will pull out Flame Tongue, but not ignite it.
Okay, just the help.
Just have it. Yeah, just have it
Just
ready.
for a minute, just to see how it feels.
Yeah, just for a second.
Oh, you can have it lit now in the hole. We're
I'm not in
covered
the
off.
hole. Am I?
Oh.
Are we all in the hole?
You could be.
We're in the tiny hut, I think.
You can, if you're in the tiny
could
hut,
be
you're in the hole
hole in the-
because they're
yeah.
they're the same diameter.
Oh, gotcha.
Don't just walk in. Just rip.
Wait, what? You're leaving too far
Sorry.
from the radius of your PC.
You can't just walk. You can't just like walk into the tiny hut. Your first step will be into a hole.
I
They have
see.
the same radius.
Jump into the hut.
I see. Well, I kind of had a mind of keeping an eye out with the
Yeah.
Ken. And so, the other thing I will do, since I can't really see down here that well, is I will recall my familiar that I have not used in probably 6 months real time. Essentially, since our escape from the place with the giant catapults.
The owl?
Yeah.
The owl.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I
forgot
will
about
just
him.
I will just have it perched on my shoulder, and I will be looking through its eyes.
That's cool.
That's it. That's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, perfect. You and Ken can make perception checks for me as well.
Wunderbar. Perception.
Nice.
Oh,
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Good. Yeah, with that roll, you again, similar to what the Arcane Eye sees, although the Arcane Eye is kind of sweeping observations, just looking out for big kind of landmarks. As you're looking over, you don't see anyone in pursuit of you, but you do notice, like if you kind of hike along the ridge a small distance and kind of just take a look around, you notice the beginnings of what looks like a very shoddily put up fence or territorial marking. Like you might be out in the boonies, but you might be coming up on somebody's like property.
They're preppers.
Drow preppers, yeah.
Job preppers.
One day, them surface trolls gonna come down here and they gonna do something. I'm gonna be ready for it.
No,
I'm gonna rip where I tell you
It's
what.
right to the
Right
surface
now.
dwellers, and then Loth's gonna come down here. She gonna save us all.
She ain't gonna do nothing. Loft ain't. I ain't seen Loft in two. You ain't never seen Loft. I tell you right now.
I tell you right now.
Hey, your pappy wasn't lying to you when he said he saw Loth. And you know what I know?
My
We both
pappy,
know.
my pappy was a drunkard and a cheat. That's what he was.
Yeah, y'all are too good at that.
That's all from experience, brother. I tell you.
Yeah.
I know.
That was
I
not
know.
Macon. He was looking for a soul to steal.
He was
That's
in a
Georgia,
bind. He
but
went
yeah,
behind.
Macon's-
He was looking to make a deal.
Anyhow, I am gonna put you guys into a map just for fun. Just don't panic.
I'm panicking. Is it the Void
Oh,
Dragon
is it
Lair?
titled Void Dragon Lair Underdark? I wonder.
That just is just that's
I like
just
that only
entirely
Alucard is here.
that's
Oh.
entirely coincidental.
And he's still bald.
I feel lied to.
It's just a
Alucard still
giant
has
chasm.
eyebrows and stubble.
That's true. That's true. The stubble's coming back.
Yeah, he's getting stubble back.
Yeah. I'll allow the stubble.
I'm
I will
bringing
not stand for these
stubble back.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Who am I missing? Bell.
Dorn.
Oh yeah, Bell and Dorn. Dorn stag. Here we go.
Dawn, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you were doing your pirate
Warthog.
things, what possessed you to choose the name Gore Stag? Did you gore a particularly big stag or something, or where did that come from? Because it's very violent.
Above
Just
table.
in thought.
Were you there in the castle, Jonathan? Spell there in the castle when we realized he was Dorn?
Yeah.
Okay. Esfel told us that was his uncle's name, right? His aunt and uncle's names were what they were using as pseudonyms?
Yeah. It was
Ah.
a family name.
There's a lot going on.
It's
at that
fine.
particular
It's
moment.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. That's where it's from.
Did you make that name up?
What?
Sorry, I was talking to Cameron.
No, Cameron used a name generator.
It's actually one of the names in the player's handbook under humans
Whoa.
for males. Yeah.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah.
How far are we into the commune?
Oh, how long does that take?
11 minutes.
11 minutos. Yeah, you're coming up on the end of it now. And you've got your incense in front of you. Smoke is rising up. And as you finish the last incantation, this kind of white smoke that's rising up from the burnt herbs and things turns crimson.
Oh, fuck you.
Just a red smoke now. Awaiting your questions.
Will this coin, if used to find the path, be able to guide us from on this plane to the river Styx?
Um, the
DM.exe has stopped.
I'd like to report a problem to Windows.
two things happen.
Oh.
The smoke splits and comes back together to create an X. And you hear in a raspy, whispery tone, all of you hear in a raspy, whispery tone, no. And then only Vale hears in a raspy, whispery tone, but I can.
And then a void dragon blasts through the X.
Followed by 17 more void dragons.
And then 17 more void dragons. Do you guys want to see the void dragon map? Would that make you happy? And then we can stop making references to this. Okay. This is just a good map for the Underdark. The original of this is a variation. The original of this looks like this. Oh, did you not see anything?
I was gonna
No.
say they're the same picture.
Oh my lord,
Oh wow.
that's a lot.
Or for you to tell the difference between these two pictures.
Basically
They're
the same.
literally the same.
Right. Anyway, so that's.
Oh my god, that thing's huge. Why does it got 4 heads?
Oh, yeah, I think we could take that.
We all have 4 heads.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, some of us have 5 heads, but
Oh boy.
most people at
TMI.
least have 4 heads.
Okay.
Second question. Does the river Styx meet at all with the Black Lake here outside of Minsterbranson?
The stream of red smoke, as it kind of spirals up, splits again and creates a circle. And you hear, yeah. XOXO.
What's
Dear,
Maru?
dear Vale, XOXO. Beholder God.
When the coin is presented, will the ferryman be summoned, or would he have to wait? That's not. I can't ask that question. That doesn't fit the parameters.
You could
But
ask
I
the first
ignore
part.
that last. Yeah, ignore the
Okay.
second part of the question, and it does.
Once again, it develops into a circle. Yeah. And then the smoke dissipates.
This being also, I don't know if you heard it. Eerily told me that he could guide me, or it could guide me, but I don't know how. So I'm just gonna ignore that for now. But if I
Well-
think about it, I figured out I'll let you know.
Above table, what was the third question?
Will the ferryman be summoned when we present the coin to the river?
And what was the answer?
Yes.
Yes.
I will, like, just poke into my mind and be like, yo, listen, Bro King, if you're there, man, like, I'm really trying some shit. Do you know where do you know where the River Styx is, man? Like, at all? Just like, don't be general because I'm already at Minso Brands and, like, are you even listening? And I'm done.
You get back a very short, snippy, impatient verbal message. Why the fuck are you in Minson Brands? What are you even doing?
I'm trying
Never
to
mind.
deal with the
And
problem.
then it cuts off.
Ugh.
At this time, as you're all kind of in the whole, would you all have gone down to listen to the answers of commune?
Mhm.
Okay. Bell, you take a moment as this is ended to just check back in on the arcane eye, and you can see 3 creatures carefully sniffing at the edges of your tiny ravine.
We've got cats.
Cats.
Can I adopt
Cats
them?
of at least 2 tails.
Tails.
I'm gonna adopt them.
No. No, I don't think you are.
I could try.
Do they have like any man-made thing on them?
Oh no, completely natural. They're kind of scary looking. They have 6 legs, a long tail, and 2 tentacles, which kind of grow out from their shoulder blades and have hooked spines on kind of fleshy pads at the ends.
Perhaps we could frighten them.
Probably not. We're safe
best
as
to
long as
not-
we're in the hut.
Yeah, also best to not, like, draw attention to ourselves.
Tori's loud when he fights. I don't think he can help it. He yells a lot.
We do not know what these beasts are. Maybe they are scouts. They could produce a scream.
I have a bit of time left on the eye, not too much, but we should be aware.
And
We're covered by
even-
the tiny hut right now.
Yes, you are.
Dorn will ignite Flame Tongue and start charging it up.
The hut lasts a fair
You know, that
amount
really
of time.
is hot. Also,
Ow.
probably it's going to draw a
It's
lot of
brighter
attention.
than it is hot.
The light
I
doesn't
know.
escape the hut,
But
does it?
That's
yes,
Well,
but
correct.
yeah,
if you
not right
take that
now, but
outside
like,
of the
what are you
hut,
doing
they'll
with that?
see us.
If they come in here, we need to attack
They
them.
cannot come in.
They can't get in.
come
Nothing
in.
can get into the hut.
I
That's
can't get into the hut.
Yeah,
Oh.
actually, this is now they actually can't even burrow underneath us either.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the hole is in the place.
Retcon. I will have not
Okay.
flame tongue. I'm
I think
All right.
we need to have a written
Just- he's just ready to, like,
protocol for
Fight some stuff.
igniting flame tongue. You know,
Cameron
imagine
above table saw a creature
fight.
that's not immune to fire damage and was like, "Let's go, let's go."
That's exactly what I said.
Imagine a fight in this confined space
I know.
with that
fucking
bullshit.
awesome.
The hut
all
should
right,
last us a good amount of time.
and even
They'll-
yeah, even as you watch Bell, they're quite curious and keeping an eye on you, but keeping their distance as they skirt you. And if after about 10 minutes, they continue stalking a nearby herd of sheep that are bounding across the rocks.
apparently there's sheep.
Yeah,
How
the
do we
mountain
see?
goats.
They seem to be more interested in them than us.
That's
I
weird.
think the method of travel that we've been using has been very good. Bell, if you could go invisible and fly, we could alternate. I see no reason for us to.
Yeah, no, I got lightheaded after that for 15 minutes. I can't do that for extended periods of time. That is very uncomfortable to do. It'd have been easy for you, but it was uncomfortable as hell.
Uncomfortable is one thing, but it
to the
seems
point-
the safest.
We can't get out if something were to go wrong.
There's no ways for oxygen to get in. We
True.
won't be able to do it prolonged.
How
The more
far
we do
are
it, the less time we'll be comfortable doing it.
how far are we from the shore you saw with your eyes?
What do your arcane eyes see?
I have no memory of this place.
When down, always follow your nose.
Bell
Yeah, you're
sniffs. I don't know what you want.
you're probably you're probably a couple miles from the shore.
I feel like I was unable to go particularly fast on the way here from the outpost, and we made it a quarter, maybe a third of the way. One more stint. If Bell can get us to the actual shore, I just don't know how I feel about walking through the wastes. But it is a group decision.
Risking suffocation and somebody dying alone, and then all the rest of us suffocating to death slowly as we can't help, or alerting the entire city of Minzobranson and the army of Drow that look like that they want to start a war with somebody, and they could start it with us. Tough decisions.
I'm rather fond of walking. I feel rather not in control of my own destiny in the whole and being sherped about.
Okay?
My vote is to walk.
Mine to fly.
By fly, you mean with the portable hole? You're talking about.
Yes.
What
I
if
would
we
be
all
in the
fly?
hole.
Can we do that?
Not invisibly. Not as stealthily as we should be. Bell is one of the stealthiest that we know.
I don't
I'm able
doubt
to
her
either
ability.
plan. But I would rather everyone be agreement on it.
I have no opinion.
I'd like to walk.
Alucard, your choice.
Comes to you.
Oh. Oh. Decision. Why am I being required to break it? Is there a tie? I guess
You
it
were
is
just
a
the last
tie.
one to say anything.
Well, you
Yes.
see, because
Oh.
I said I had no opinion before you, so
Oh, so
by
only
rule
one
of
of us is
I
allowed
said
to
it
abstain from
first.
voting?
yes, because I said it first.
So, why are you like, okay, I say we walk?
Didn't we walk?
Very well.
All right.
Oh,
Careful
no, you
now.
don't actually have to go with my decision. You could always just choose
No,
something else.
that's how that works, Alucard. You broke the tie, you see.
That is.
We will be safe either way, I'm sure of it.
It is.
But we should get on our way.
It is not your decision, Alucard. It was
was a
yours,
group
mine,
decision.
and Vale's.
Right, okay.
And it was definitely not mine.
The heads of
Alright.
the group prevail.
Well, let us try to go stealthily and not create any overt signal as to where we might be it sound or light, mainly
Plasma.
light.
Thorn, you be careful with that, okay?
I won't ignite it,
That is
except for on purpose.
Sid, would there be a way on table that Ekin would have known it was going to be particularly difficult to be stealthy, like mechanically knowing that he rolled straight when he would have had advantage normally on having invisibility? Or is that just
That
for
would
the
have been
character?
that would have been as a matter of how close you were to the watchtower and how many
Okay,
people would have
okay.
been looking. Like it's just the odds were against you, kind of.
That's not the lighthouse being the heavenly light that shows all sinners. Gotcha.
No, you have not seen the lighthouse yet.
Good. Good. It's good. It's a good thing. Okay. I'm scared. Scared.
Hi, scared.
Hi, Jonathan. I'm scared.
Hi, Jonathan. I'm scared. I'm in danger. All right. As you all leave the sanctity of the tiny hut, hold up the hole. Who has the hole?
I don't have pockets.
No.
Belle
Think
mentioned
about-
that she presented the hole earlier, so.
It is Belle's hole.
Yeah, yeah, we're not.
I don't like
we're
any
not.
of this at all.
Look, if we're gonna make the joke, we're leading into it, all right?
Gotta
we
pay
didn't
the
make
troll
the
toll.
joke. We made a
You got
mistake.
We didn't make the joke. We made a mistake. Yeah, that's how that starts. So Belle, you fold up the portable apartment. That's how we'll call it. We'll call it the portable apartment from now on. Belle can present portable apartment all she wants. Port apartment. And
That's bordering too close
What-
on porta potty. I don't like that.
port apartment.
That you don't like?
That.
Have you ever been in a porta potty? It sucks.
when we get clear of the tiny hut,
Mhm.
I will also cast see invisibility on myself
Okay.
for now, just to go ahead and have it to start.
What's the duration on that?
An hour.
Okay, great.
Yo,
I'm definitely not gonna go make toast.
Make me some.
Okay.
Bring me some too. We were
So as you
walking
leave
south.
you leave the tiny hut and you begin to climb up out of the valley that Ikin had kind of dropped you guys in, making your way southward towards the chair.
Popped in.
Making your way southward towards the Black Lake. Go ahead and what's your marching order?
I have a climb speed. I would imagine I'm probably near the front,
Okay.
just because it's very easy for me to navigate this.
Probably in the middle. For the opposite reason as what he just said.
I'm probably, I don't know, after tour. I'm still seeing through the eyes of my familiar.
Got it.
I'm third.
Yeah. Okay. That makes it really difficult for Vale to be in the middle. Unless Alucard and Deacon bring up the rear.
Ken can be at the very back. Alucard's does not want to be at the very back.
Good at perceiving. But yeah, I'll stay back.
All right. As you guys begin making your way through, I need for someone to make a survival check with advantage for the group.
That should not be me.
I'm proficient at survival.
Should be someone
Yeah,
who's
Thorn,
proficient.
hey.
But also, it relies on wisdom, which I'm not that great
I have a
at.
-2 in wisdom, pal.
I have a flat
Alright.
+5. I'm not
Sure.
proficient. I'm just good at wisdom.
Survival with advantage.
Yeah, I just have.
Yes, survival with advantage.
Mine's also +5. I'm just gonna roll it. I've
Alright.
decided.
Hey,
Nice.
we're good.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
All right. Tour in the lead as he is most able to test and check the veracity of the various footholds and climb holds with his climbing speed, and Dorn right behind him, pointing out the best way to navigate over this rocky terrain. The two of you make a fine foraging, trailblazing team. And within a number of hours, about an hour and a half, I should say, without too much trouble, you do manage to make your way to the cliffside. Looking back behind you, you can see the gentle slope of the terrain split up by these large shelves and drastic, dramatic cliff faces that rise all the way up for miles and miles back to, in the vast distance, the wall of the cavern from whence you emerged into this enormous space. Probably 12 to 15 miles away. If you're looking at it kind of like back in that direction, but there's a gentle slope to the terrain, and as you've come down, this is the final cliff face, and looking over the edge, you can see just black water. Swaying, swirling, causing foam amongst the jagged black rocks which split up like teeth from within the swell. Out across the lake, it travels all the way to the horizon. It's such a vast lake. You can see dotting here and there these purple-sailed corsairs. Nothing in the magnitude of, even though Miles and Chip said they were big ships, nothing in the magnitude of what you guys would call big ships, like on the Sword Coast. There's just no need for anything like that down here. But there are, good 12-foot long, 20-foot long corsairs, kind of narrow, low to the surface, with these triangular shaped sails in deep violet colors, kind of zigzagging out across the lake. This is not placid. This is large enough that it has its own kind of sway and swell. And it's just got these waves that crash against the edge. And you can see, again, it's almost like the whole atmosphere feels like starlit night. But when you look up at the cave ceiling, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet away, you can see it's just more bioluminescent algae and mushrooms that create this almost starry effect above you. And that provides just enough light, along with the lanterns hung by the ships themselves, to make out these vessels in the distance. It's like it feels almost like a moonlit night. It's not like a pretty well moonlit night. It's not so dark that it's debilitating, But for those of you who have dark vision naturally, it's easily well lit enough for you to treat it all as if it's bright light.
Is there wind? Can Tor suss out how the fuck they're moving?
Yes, so there is air current in this chamber. This chamber is, remember,
Yeah, big enough for wind, I accept.
120 miles across or so, and so tall that it might have its own weather patterns from time to time. There's enough heat generated by the city of Menzoberranzan that it evaporates water. That water can't go anywhere except to cling to the surface of the cavern above and condense, rain down. This is just a big underground place.
How long have we been traveling? Total today?
Total today, about 7 hours.
I probably have some more time in me before I get pretty tired.
So, really, what's the plan to go out there? What are we doing? Like, are we just walking along the shore? Because the city's over here. Direct south of it was right in the middle of the water, and just shoreline just goes out that way. It doesn't seem beneficial for us to go that way.
So yeah, effectively on my little paint map, let's scroll up here. You guys are, if you follow the shoreline west of Menzoberranzan, you're in this sort of like flat portion flat portion between these kind of large mountain ranges, which are the black bits that come down. Kind of staring out at the city across this little inlet, this bay.
So if we were to come straight down, we would probably not. If we were to go straight south,
Yes,
we would not hit the land of Menzoberranzan, or
that
we
is
would.
correct.
We're not that. Okay.
No, you are far enough out that you would miss the land mass of Menzoberranzan if you were to head due south.
Well, Tor, you're the sailor.
Okay, sure. Has Tor seen the swan boat?
You seen it before? I'm not sure.
I can't remember. I feel like maybe.
You were in the fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to take it to get to the
Mischief.
that
Mm,
fight.
Okay.
To fight Mischief.
It's just a big white swan thing.
It's a Lothlorien canoe
Hmm.
from Lord
Okay,
of the
great.
Rings. I'm pretty sure. Cameron, correct me. What's the size on that?
Big
yeah,
enough.
you know right off the top of your head. It's not the size that matters. It's how you use it.
It's the motion of
True.
the ocean, as they say.
Right, Alucard?
If it's big enough to put the portable hole down in, then we can.
Well, it's not about
Just a
being
moment.
able to navigate it, or
Does weight matter
A
when you're sailing?
a 50-foot long, 20-foot wide boat shaped like a
Oh.
swan takes its place. It's
My.
pretty big.
That's
It's-
much bigger than I thought it was.
It is it's like a Viking longboat. I'm sorry.
That is
that's
not
that's more accurate.
inconspicuous.
It's not
Yeah.
all inconspicuous.
does it
yeah,
have
it's
self propulsion, or is it like
Does it have what? I'm sorry.
does it have a sail? Is it like, do we have to row this big ass motherfucker?
No, it
Like-
magically propels itself in the direction that the wheeler expects.
It's also only good for a certain amount of time, isn't it?
Yes.
The boat remains for 24 hours and then disappears.
Could
Okay,
we
so-
get out into the middle
So-
of this ocean?
So as long as we get to this River Styx within 24 hours, we're good, right? And it can't, obviously. There's no way we can get lost in the middle of a lake.
Or
here's the
found
problem.
and then fought?
Yes,
Well,
that.
I mean,
Then we just
that's
steal
the
their boat.
problem.
Yeah,
And
see, there we
That
go.
is also a thought, by the way, that I had, which is
Commandeer.
realistically
nautical
what
term.
I'd like to do is take one of theirs.
Commandeer. It's a nautical term.
That just makes noise. I'm trouble.
Sure, but having a large, in comparison, especially white vessel is going to be just as attention grabbing. And
You got an
it.
Assassin's Creed.
We have to find a group of priest ships
Yeah, just
to get between.
get in the middle of them and all pretend to just be reading.
That's
prayer.
not.
Yep.
That's not that Assassin's Creed. The one where you actually
Oh,
commandeer pirate
Oh.
ships.
I thought
the
mine made
black
way more sense.
flag. Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness.
are there any boats parked on the shore?
Parked. Moored. No.
I
If you
parked
look,
my boat too.
if you look to your left, into that kind of deep bay to the north of Menzo Branson, there are docks and there are many boats moored there. Some appear to be fishing vessels. Some appear to be made for more like speed, like rowing vessels to get across short distances. And some appear to be barges to transfer goods across the lake to perhaps other drow establishments in the distance. But yeah, there's docks there in the bay to your immediate east. But where you're at, you're far west enough that looking straight down, there's not even really a beach. It's just kind of rock and foam. So there's nowhere and it's probably about 20, 30 feet down.
What I would give to be Captain Cross right now and just fucking summon a fucking pirate ship out. Oh, sorry. What a fun thought that
The
was. just
Nemesis, the Triton.
now. Oh, what a fucking. Oh my god, that'd be so good. Okay.
So do we start by stealing a ship, or do we start by getting on our ship and then waiting to be approached? Or approaching them?
Well, how magically inclined do we expect these people to be? I have no sense of gauging that. I mean, are they going to
Everyone we've
report
ever
that?
talked to about these people is scared shitless. So I don't know. But probably fairly.
The thing I have to ask are they going to shoot out ascending and say, hey, we're investigating this thing? You know, I mean, that's going to put them on notice.
I mean,
but do we
probably
have enough
equally as
time?
likely in that situation
They'll make a
as if we
religion check.
steal their ship from their dock.
9.
You know
That's
that
a
they
good
are a
roll.
theocracy.
They're a theocracy. I don't know what that means. That they'll be more prone to.
You could
I
guess
don't
that they
think-
have access to divine magic. If they were to be magically inclined, but not necessarily exclusively divine magic.
I don't know what the best solution is here. I can tell you the best thing that we could do is take one of theirs, assuming we could all man it.
See,
Looks
here's
relatively small.
if we were to steal one off the port, then we may not get very far before they start sending people. But if we're
Oh,
already out
Yeah.
in the water and we are approached by a ship and we take that one, at least we know there aren't more ships immediately coming after us.
Who casts see invisibility?
I did.
Vale, you can see as you look out over the lake. You can see a very thin gossamer silver meandering thread.
That was
I can't. There's something out there, not threatening. Hopefully,
Okay.
I can something in the ethereal potentially, or just invisible itself.
Okay. What is it? Like a really
a
big
threat.
ship?
It's not an invisible ship.
That would have been really cool.
Tour. That immediately triggers a memory for you.
Yeah. What's it? Is it just floating there? Is it stagnant?
Meandering, you might even say.
One might have said that many times in description of this.
That looks very similar to the line of pure energy that you all would have run out to sea as that Corsair rode
Wait a second. So, we don't think that Gossamer Thread might be, because the River Styx connects all the planes together. We don't think the River Styx is.
We already had that. But then it opened to somewhere that we thought we recognized.
Well, it just looked like mountain range above ground, really. I mean, it wasn't.
It could
Well,
have been another plane, I suppose.
I guess what I'm saying is, if it's traveling, if it doesn't necessarily stay in one location, because that ship waited there for a while for it to appear.
So does that mean
It
that we need to
pulsed.
go right now and see if that's it and it's here? Does it being
Well-
here indicate that the ferryman is here? I don't.
Well, no. We present the coin and the ferryman shows up. It's has nothing to do with that. But I mean, I couldn't see before. I could just see that something appeared similar to this type of thread and then pulsed massively with energy, and the
How far into the
ship shot
water
off.
is it, Vale?
Oh, it's a couple miles out.
We could get there in a day.
Well, we could,
By swimming?
theoretically we could get there very quickly just by sailing. What is it in? Does it like come out of the water? Is it just like like how? Like if we sailed to it, could we grab it? Like
It's going in a general direction that is diagonally downward into the water to the south. Diagonally upward out of the water to the northish. You can just see and you can just barely see it. Like it's a very, very thin thread.
So this is a go now situation.
well, if it pulses, does it go away? How do we? I mean, if that's the river, then it should just be there.
I
don't
would
necessarily think we'd
prefer
have to
that
rush it.
we take a rest very soon here. I'm going to lose much of my capabilities in the darkness.
Well,
But if it is a go now situation, then we need to go.
I don't think it is. If anything, then we should just throw down our apartment, pop up another hut, and just pay attention to it. See if it pulses. See if it. We were told that it was here, meaning it's been here for a long time. Meaning if it pulses, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay here. Right?
That logic seems
Makes
sound.
sense.
So it's not like we have to beat the clock. We can observe it, see if it pulses, at least. Rest. Go from there. And maybe try to observe. I can try to observe some of the patrol routes and see if they're set or if they're just willy-nilly, and maybe try to come up with an idea of how to commandeer one of their vessels.
Sounds fair. I'm going to drop the honey.
Okay. exhaustion leaches into your bones, your body. As you, the world becomes a dim, dark place. All right, you guys camping out?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You pulling out the portable apartment?
Yup.
Port apartment.
Port apartment.
The port side apartment.
Okay.
Please
Are you,
keep your hands and feet inside the port apartment at all times.
are you also throwing up a tiny hut?
Yep.
All right. Where are you doing this? Is specific, like looking around the terrain? Are you looking for a specific, like, natural or geographic feature that you would gravitate towards?
Is there
or
a
just some-
hidey hole?
do you want to make a survival check?
I love survival check. I'm so good at these. I survive stuff.
I will survive.
13.
Um,
That's a whole lot better than mine.
you don't really see a hidey hole with a big enough radius to hold the hut slash hole apartment. But you're currently standing, all of you are currently standing, or perhaps crouched. I don't know how much credit I give you, like on a cliff, overlooking like the lake. You're not particularly hidden where you are now.
I said we find somewhere we can be a little less conspicuous.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay.
Somewhere
stack.
close enough to where I can actually watch the water, though, please.
Well, sounds like you are prime suspect for a camp out spot finder.
Yeah, all right, sure.
Make the survival
Didn't
check.
do that. 15.
Okay. After a little bit of digging around, you find a place where these two kind of large, flat rock faces kind of go up at an angle away from each other to create something of a little ravine, a little dip, almost like a crater. And between the two, you can just kind of like position yourself to see. You have to kind of move back and forth to see out across the whole lake. You don't have a great view, almost like an arrow slit situation.
Yeah.
But you're much more hidden, and you can theoretically see out to the lake.
Once the hole is down and everybody's in it, I will have some words. I don't know if anything else has to happen first.
Yep. I
Okay,
will
great.
place the apartment.
All right, we cast another hut.
Does anybody have a lot of incense? Or
Yeah.
How much incense do you have, Vale?
Let me pull out this big bag of incense I have out of here as I
You bought a
gingerly
lot of
open
incense, right?
the big bag of incense.
Instant,
I have.
private,
That's like what?
instant, private, captain.
I have 2 doses. We've not cast Legend Lore through. I know I've decreased it. Never mind, I have. I have 2 doses, 2 bags for about 250 gold pieces, worth about 250 gold pieces each
Do you have any charcoal?
of incense. That one's not me.
Anybody?
Not listed as a monetary spell component that is consumed
Well, fuck.
at the very least, if I do have any.
I don't know why anybody would have any charcoal except for the purpose of casting this spell.
Dorn
Nope,
will
don't have
pull
that.
out flame tongue and say, "I could make some."
You look
Oh,
around and
don't
see a
play
distinct
If
lack
I reach into the stove,
of
is there any
hardwood.
charcoal in there?
There are like ash and coals.
Unlucky.
Are the coals charred?
Yes, but they are not
Good question.
what one would call charcoal, which is, as I'm sure you know, Cameron Sutton, very different than just burnt wood.
Yes, Cameron Sutton knows this. Good job, Cameron Sutton.
Yeah, I am very
I
upset
feel like I'm being
for
doxxed right
not
now.
purchasing components. Just a fucking idiot. Hey, anybody that wants to remember the next time we go shopping or into any type of town or city or fucking anywhere that I can get provisions, would you please tell me I'm fucking stupid and need to buy components to cast fucking Find Familiar?
I mean, I could do that for you anytime. Like, doesn't have to just be in a shopping setting. I could do it now.
You could do it
Do it
anytime
later,
you'd like.
could do it
Just
earlier today.
specifically, I need you to do it at least when we're shopping.
So we're staying
I'm
here for
resting,
the night.
Oh gosh, excuse me. Sorry.
In the morning, we go seek the Elder God.
We're actually here.
We are actually here.
Well, I wouldn't breathe a sigh of relief just yet.
I had not relief in mind.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I did.
That's not
It's-
good. That's
well,
not good.
Look at it this way. Most of the time, the journey's the harder part. Now, we don't exactly know what we're going to be facing, but at least we're here. There's no
I
more
would argue
suspense.
we're still on the journey and at the most difficult part of that journey.
I would disagree with your point of view. And
That's
that's
fair.
okay.
I like
That's
your
fair.
optimism. I will
think-
climb out of the
Mhm.
little apartment and I'm gonna like just let me
Who's-
look at these shit.
Who's watching first?
Hit me. Whoa. Well, maybe somebody should pay attention to other stuff. I'm just paying attention to the water. It shouldn't be me.
I will take first watch.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Dornstag, with disadvantage in the dark.
Perception.
Wait, I still have my guy.
Ah, yes, I'm sorry. So you can make a perception check. You'll use his perception check. Do you have that stat block readily available?
I don't.
The boy is dead.
I'm sure that's super surprising to you since I.
I'm normally so prepared.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
So you have proficiency in perception, and you have keen hearing and sight, so you have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing or sight. So it is going to be a +3 with advantage. 1d20 +3, but with advantage. So just roll it
Okay.
twice.
I'm just gonna roll it and then we'll just subtract 2 from my roll.
Okay. 14.
14.
All right. That is great to know. You get kind of caught up in watching the local wildlife as you kind of soar about in circle overhead. It's kind of a fascinating experience to watch the ecology take place down here. It mimics the surface, but everything seems it's just harsh. Everything seems harsher. You see one of the large bats actually fly up and alight on a low-hanging stalagmite. Stalactite? I don't know. I don't care. Stalactite? Only for the stalactite to unleash tentacles and open its giant maw of a toothy mouth and gobble up the bat.
That's uncomfortable.
But for the most part, your watch passes without incident. No disturbances on the camp here.
Am I noticing any patterns from patrol boats?
Patrol boats patterns. No, from this view, and how dimly lit it is, you wouldn't be able to recognize one boat necessarily from another. It kind of just looks like a bunch of boats coming and going. But you do see a fair number of fishing boats go out kind of in group and then spread out from the harbor. Probably
Good,
like
so it looks like they
8 to
kind of
10.
have ideas of like there's like a shift type thing.
Yeah, it feels like
Of-
there's a temporal pattern here despite the lack of sunlight. Probably a better time to fish. All right, second watch.
I
I'll do second
reasonably
watch.
cannot take a watch.
Okay. Who's on second watch then? Sorry.
Bell will take second watch.
Bell. Is Tour giving up his vigil?
How long are watches?
2.5, 3 hours.
I'm not going without sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay. Bell, make a perception check with me. Do you have the eyes of night, goggles of night on?
I will have taken off the
My magical
other
monocle.
for this. Yeah. And I rolling perception.
Yep.
Should I roll a d8? Or a d6? I like it.
This is gonna be one of those weird situations where I'm gonna say that's up to you.
Okay.
There is a gradient success scale.
18.
18. Okay. With that, as you're keeping watch, you also do not notice anything threatening coming up upon the camp. You do actually see a small herd of the strange bighorn sheep kind of coming close to you, but it seems that they detect your scent or sound long before they get too close and change course. But as you look out between the crevice and the rock plates out at the lake, you can see probably 10 to 15 larger, longer barge-like ships sailing out from the harbor in formation. Seems to be making their way towards a very specific location, which you cannot imagine what might be.
I would like to. Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
No, you
No,
go.
you go ahead.
No, you.
No, you. No, you. I insist.
By all means. What would you like to do?
I would
Val?
like to wait for you to say whatever the heck you were gonna say.
We'll have to wait. What I was gonna say is at the very end of your watch, something happens. So do you?
Yeah. No. I wasn't gonna do anything. I was just gonna mess with. I was gonna mess with door stack a little bit. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, but don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay. At the very end of your watch, you can see that coterie of that sortie of boats that kind of went out all together. It's made its way out, barely visible at this distance near the horizon. They seem to have arranged themselves all in a circle around a large swath of water and dropped anchor, and they're just waiting.
Whereabouts? Like, this is just like in the middle of.
Kind of in the middle of the water, yeah. It's almost due west of Menzo Branson, out in the bay.
Okay.
Out in the
I will
lake.
I'll take note of that, and whoever I wake up for the third watch, I will inform them of that.
All right, and who shall be awoken for the third watch? Don't everyone volunteer at once.
Okay, I
I-
will wake up.
I would do it if it doesn't cost me a long rest.
It will cost you a long rest to pull
I'm
the
not
watch.
doing it.
I
I
will
can do
wake.
it.
I will wake Alucard up.
All right.
Alucard.
Yes, Bell. Yes.
I just want to let you know, I'm proud of you. Also,
What? What?
that there are a large number of large ships anchored out west of Minza Baranzan, and you should keep an eye on them to see if they disappear. Going to sleep. Good night.
Okay.
All right. As you start the last watch of the evening, well, the time is weird. You're not even sure how in sync you are with the sun cycle above you now. Not only because of the distance you've traveled, but also because there's no sun. You don't seem to detect any sort of discernible difference between night and day in Minza Baranzan over the course of this short time taking observation. Sort of like everyone works whatever shifts they want because there's no coordinated daytime nighttime.
Daytime, nighttime.
Okay.
Make a perception check for me, Alucard.
Perception.
It better be good because you're the only one who got the song.
It is pretty
19.
good.
All right. As you're taking watch, about an hour into your watch, you begin to notice, as you're looking out over the lake, a strand of silver light appear. It is glimmering. It grows ever so slightly brighter, as if breathing, as the pulse of a heart. Boom, boom. Just boom, boom.
That would be the pulsing he spoke about. Okay.
This strand meanders, one might say, down from the ceiling and into the black lake, and seems to intersect with the water exactly within this like roughly 100 square foot sphere around which all of the other boats are waiting. This large cable-like energy begins to shoot down across, almost straightening out the meandering thread as if a limp water hose were suddenly turned on to full blast. And it's just for the briefest of moments, there's a flash of light. It looks almost like pure daylight out here from this cable of pure energy. And a large vessel, one that you would consider large, like that would sail the open seas of the Sword Coast, a galleon, but made in the fashion of drow, large, kind of deep, densely black wood, with purple sails set in triangular patterns, appears rapidly crashing into the water. In between all the other boats, sending wake out, and all the boats are kind of. And as quickly as it came, the beaded light diminishes and becomes just a thread, and then vanishes.
Okay, so
Immediately you can see the boats beginning to row forward towards the galleon, and they begin the process of offloading crates. Crates and other, just probably goods of some kind, probably, onto these barge-like ships that are laden down. And as each one fills up, they begin to turn and sail back towards the harbor.
okay. So the second time we've seen this, who is not taking a watch?
Me.
This is the last watch. But Vale and Ken have not taken watches.
Okay.
I do not have dark vision right now.
If I leave the hole, it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Not the hole, but
The hut.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
can look. I can hear.
I will go.
It's early. Considered as far as Vale and Ken could be awakened at this point without
Yeah.
risking their long rest. They would just be grumpy. It's like early.
Okay.
Okay.
But Tour and Bell, and Dorn, who all stayed up, will need to sleep in. Yeah.
Well, if it's early enough, I could always assume the Oni again.
Yeah, it will have been considered a long rest for you at this point.
Okay.
don't do that when we're not traveling. I can if it's gonna be a little bit over the 8 hours anyway. I can be out and I can watch.
Well, I'm going
Let's just
to
do
go
it together.
What is
up
Alucard doing?
Vale.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go wake up Vale. Vale. Vale.
Mm.
Vale.
Yeah.
So, there was a flash of pulsing white light, and the ship appeared in the water, in the lake. Thought you should know.
Okay.
The other ships were waiting there for about how long? Okay. Bell didn't tell me how long the ships had been there.
Correct.
Roughly how long had I been sitting
It was
there
about
before?
45 minutes to an hour into your watch.
About an hour after. About an hour after it appeared. And the ship appeared and they started offloading crates and things. Were you able to see through the light like we saw like what happened the last time, or is it?
Yeah. Make a quick perception check for me.
Okay. Perception. Yep, 7.
Okay. All that you really were able to see was what looked like bright blue sky and puffy white clouds.
Okay.
Bright blue sky and puffy white clouds.
So that's what I saw, but you think maybe that the river Styx has like some type of energy that it's releasing and it's not exactly stable, so occasionally it opens up gateways to the places. Or maybe not. Well,
I'm sorry. I realized you had to be talking to me. I'm sorry. What?
yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Vale. Vale, it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Sounds good to me.
All right. What's the plan? As morning creeps on, morning in bunny ears creeps on, we are coming up on our stopping point for tonight. But I want to get a good idea for the notes and for the recap.
This was a
What
long
does the beginning
rest.
of your day? Yes. Yep. What does the beginning of your day look like here as you awaken near the bay of Menzo
I know exactly what the beginning of my day is.
Alcohol.
Guess what, everybody?
Alucard's
I'm
drunk.
back.
And you actually chose to take the last rest so that you could instantly start drinking.
As soon as as soon as I reported to Vale, I was like, well, now that I've given you that information, I'm absolved of all responsibility. Let's go. Just gonna put in all caps. The flask is open.
I fill you up.
The flask is open for business.
Let's have a party.
And that's why
Exactly.
Belle said that she was proud of Alucard, because he lasted the
title.
whole 10 days.
He
He didn't
have a
have much of a choice.
I mean, no
But
option.
listen, he had a choice. He chose to stay alive. That's what we're proud of.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The title
Let's
of
say
the
he
next
tried very
episode,
hard
The Flask is
to
Open.
relapse, as it were.
You're very uncomfortable for a number of reasons. Haven't been describing this, but like you've been kind of jittery, a little bit sweaty, um, and then also there's the fact that all of your hair is like
Gone.
no, it's all this length, like sandpaper
Itchy
length.
length.
Yeah.
PSA: if you are drinking heavy amounts of alcohol, do not just stop. That will kill you.
What do you mean?
If you're an alcoholic and you stop drinking, you can die
You
from that.
You can just yeah.
Oh,
The same is not true for opioids, as it turns out.
You should
You'll
stop
feel
those.
like shit,
Oh,
but
did you know
you won't die. But alcohol will kill you if you stop.
that
Just
that
like cut
shit
off.
If you don't
is
wean off of
very
it, yeah.
addictive?
Opioids?
Oh yes.
Oh yes, that's true.
Yes, but they
Not
won't
just
kill
that,
you
but
if
it,
you
like,
just stop.
If you quit them.
Runs in the family big too.
Yeah.
I had like
Yikes.
5 once, and then had the worst withdrawals of my life. I actually had 20 of them. Had a full like prescription, but
You only took 5.
no, I took all of them.
Oh, you took all 20.
I did not like overload on them. Like it's like one every
You
8
took them
hours
as
according
prescribed.
to pain.
Right.
Yes.
Great.
And yeah, the worst fucking withdrawals of my life. I quit cold turkey nicotine. Worst withdrawals of my life.
Nicotine also won't kill you.
True.
Alcohol and benzos will.
Fun.
For all of our viewers,
Yeah. Fun topic to end on as
Yeah, be careful.
we begin to discuss kind of delicate character flaws. You know, we often talk about character flaws in Dungeons and Dragons as they come up, but they're usually like, my wisdom is low, not I'm an
I'm a
alcoholic,
raging alcoholic.
and it could actually resonate with our players and viewers and our real lives here. I like to keep my D&D out of my real life. That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
That's very not true.
Yeah, play way too much D&D for that. In any event, next time on the 11th Ornament, as the party ponders how to proceed. The Drow City is about to be awash in festivities, lights, performances.
We're so close
As
to something.
as the party looks on from the outskirts, having just brushed the surface on a strange new phenomena of travel being employed by the Drow, apparently, and wondering if that has something to do with its proximity to the River Styx, and how to proceed with that investigation. And you have yet to see anything resembling a lighthouse.
That's
Why would
spoopy.
you just say that?
So until next time, dear adventurers, I bid you adieu, and next time will be our last episode of 2022. So, well, I'll try and gear up to make it a fantastic one. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you here next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.